Yeah. We here. Welcome, 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 welcome. We are back at it. Players and baddies assemble. Yeah. Happy Wednesday. I know you like, Negro, what you doing? Why you here on a Wednesday? Hey man, you never know. You never know when you might see a player. Always be ready. Enjoy yourself. Kick back. What y'all on today, man? Like I said, happy Wednesday. Excuse my lateness. I was going to be here on time, I promise. But what had happened was... your boy got thirsty. Beans, you know what I mean? Beans needed some... I gotta act like Eddie Murphy. My grandmother needed fresh drawers. No, I messed up. He said, my grandmother was sick. My car ran out of gas. I needed fresh drawers. Just making up anything. What a weird thing to say. Yo, what's up? This Johnny, I'm the coldest, I'm the coolest, bro. Said, yo, let's get it, yeah. Back up on that smooth shit. He riding that big body, and I'm whipping in the cool whip. Told me it's no smooth sailing, so I'm about to buy your cruise ship. Hold up, roll up, smoke up. Now it's slow in my thinking. Shorty saw my cup, then she asked me what I'm drinking. Don't think twice, all night sipping gin and Sprite. Said it got me floating like a ladder rug. She looked like Jasmine. So what's up? But let's do what we need to do. Now I'm like California love. Feeling like a million welcoming in the Instagram. Happy Wednesday to y'all on IG. Pull up on a player. Pull up on a player. Let's see what they talking. What up? Let me see what they... Because you got to know what people was saying before you start responding, because they might be talking crazy and I can't have it. I won't do it. Oh, he said, hey, what's good? Welcome. If it's your first time, drop the sunglass with the emojis in the comments and make sure you subscribe. You got to subscribe. That's just the essentials. I'm not gonna delay our fun any further. Let's go ahead and get into the show. Tonight's episode is appropriately titled "The Baddies Gave Up on Sundresses." That's why the kids can't read. The baddies gave up on sundresses. That's why the kids can't read. Forgive me, y'all. Forgive me. But yes. All right. Let me not delay. Let me not delay. Nancy the singer, what's good? Shout out to YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. Now, as I was saying, and Nancy, if this your first time, drop the sunglass with the emojis in there. If this is not your first time, hereby making you a member of YGB, you gotta believe. Put the number 1 or put the up in the chats. This is now the YGB emoji. We no longer we have deboed the emoji. Now, as I was saying, the baddies gave up on sundresses. That's why the kids can't read. Ladies, the sundress was damn near a Ceddy's recipe. An artifact. A culture, norm, a custom, a tradition. And slowly, we have gotten away from the blessings that God has gave us. Let me hydrate while I preach. There was nothing like pulling up at your cousin's barbecue. See some ladies walk in that you ain't never seen before. And they wearing that long, flowy dress. Let it flow. You know, we all about that black power. We don't let it snow, we let it flow. Chevy 5-speed talking about some Roy Rogers. Now, I would say you're wildin', but you a real one because Roy Rogers happens to be one of my favorite fast food restaurants. Can't find them anywhere. They're very, very select. Hey. Shout out my girl Asia View in the building. The lovely. Gotta put that emphasis on the lovely and talented singer. Got some new music on the way. Had to go holler at her. Said, hey, send a play or something. For those that are new or who are just a little unfamiliar, again, my name is Ceddy P, artist manager, owner of Renaissance Music Records, playlist curator, author, sitcom writer, firefighter, president of Ball Brothers United. Handsome, but you can see that. I don't want to disrespect your vision. But we are here in what is known as the Playas Circle. Make yourself comfortable. If you're a baddie, kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You heard Escape. If you a player, as long as you got socks, because you're not just going to have your bare feet all up in my crib. We don't roll like that. Yeah. Let me finish my topic before I get too distracted. But yes, I am a fan of the sundress. Shout out to my boy Kojo, who also is wondering what is going on. Someone was posting the new latest fashion, and my boy went viral because he said, "Hey man, are y'all not gonna wear sundresses no more? What's going on?" He was thoroughly concerned, and so was I. We can't lose our recipes, and we got to hold each other accountable. If I, the young unk, gotta be on the grill, if I gotta be, you know what I mean? Damn it, at least give me something to look at. What my boy say? Double cheeked up on a Thursday. Don't let me down, ladies. The ladies have made a stark transition to wearing the attire of the World Wrestling Entertainment. First, last two seasons, the Baddies was wearing that Mark Henry outfit. Now, this year they wearing jorts. Now they on John Cena. Now, in 2027, if y'all come out here dressed like Rey Mysterio or Booker T, we gonna have to talk. You take your girl out, she dressed like Roman Reigns. Ooh, ah. Whatever he say. Let's not go out like that. Now, what I will say, and I don't like to cap too much, but let the capping begin. Call me Capitan. But now I did see the fly sister Mia Bell. Shout out Mia Bell from BET and radio fame. But I saw her pull up with the jorts. She posted herself in the jorts, and the jorts was Jordan. I said, well, damn. But she got style. Let's not make this a routine thing. Let's bring back the sundresses. That's all I'm trying to say. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Now, what did y'all get into? What did y'all get into this week? There was a lot going on. A lot has transpired since the last time I saw y'all. Now, yesterday, hold on, let me hydrate. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of serving as a guest judge, if you will, a guest listener. I took part in the Geneus listening session. Hell of an event. Kudos to the ladies. Kudos to the baddies over at Geneus for inviting me. I happened to serve with the very talented and highly successful Tanya Nelson Fisher, who is a business owner, also radio personality, works in streaming, has worked with Tidal and Sirius, so shout out to her. Sorry, y'all, that water delicious. Now, we had a great time listening to some new music. I found me some new jams. I found me a rock jam. That was crazy. Took me back to my Linkin Park days, my Coldplay. You know, when you be in the suburbs, if you a black person from the suburbs, you know, you was out here wilding. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. So shout out to my new rock band. No hesitation. She hit the yoga after eating the edible. She in the Warrior One. I said she staying so flexible. Damn, can I find that song? Yeah, the name of the group was called Band Nerds. I'm gonna see if I can play something on here later on. And then I found another record. I found a couple records. Shout out to my brother Winston Ward. Shout out, is it Tajon? That White Leaves? That White Leaves was a bop. Rowdy Hop, what's good? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out to everybody that's on the IG side. You know we live streaming on the IG and the YouTube. So if it's your first time, get comfortable. Make sure you follow and like the live. But yeah, I'm gonna try to play some of them records because them Jones was the bomb. Now, all right, don't play. You know we've been having some crazy weather. The listening session. We also celebrated Juneteenth. Had to get my Juneteenth on. You got to stay free, y'all. We got to celebrate, cause they'll take it away. They be like, you cut off. Had a great Juneteenth though, so was happy to celebrate that. And in addition, got some great new music, which I'll share. Well, actually, we talked about it last week. We did talk about that last week, but we got the album from Tierra Whack, the Wax Museum. Shout out to my boy Johnny, the manager of Tierra Whack. Shout out to herself for dropping that hot. If you haven't tapped in, go tap in on that. That's heat. That's full blood, full flowing heat. Now, outside of that, after that, of course, we had Father's Day. Shout out to all the fathers. Shout out to the fathers. Shout out to the grandfathers, the uncles. If your woman has ever called you Poppy, Daddy. Shout out to the good black men that just be working in the community. I seen a shorty, you know, Instagram got the notes or whatever them things is called. Shorty gonna say, oh, all of you guys are fathers? Shut your hating ass up. And I say that as pleasantly as I can, baddies, because you know I love the baddies. But not today. We want to celebrate that the brother did post his kids. We got to focus on the positive. I went to a Juneteenth festival. Let me just quickly go back to Juneteenth. I went to a Juneteenth festival in Jersey, and I was out there supporting Mom Dukes with her business, So Fly. My mother is a master seamstress, so she was selling various pillows, blankets, and what have you. And she happened to have some sports paraphernalia. She had some Eagles pillows, and she had one Cowboys pillow on the table. Why all the Eagles fans walking up talking about why you gotta sell Cowboys? Why you focused on the negative? Eagles right there. Buy something. You have we as a people, we gotta. Keith Sweat said, "Girl, you got me twisted." That don't even make no sense. You feel me? But anyway, Rowdy Hop said, "Are you a Cowboys fan?" Hell no. Now, I happen to be nearly as delusional, but not as delusional. I'm a Commanders fan. Hail to the Commanders. Shout out to all my peoples in D.C. Crazy nice. How about now? I love my YouTube fam, because YouTube come up in here talking crazy as always. But we having a good time. We rolling. And oh, you a Saints fan? Respect. Shout out Nola. Shout out Nolans. I've never been. Gotta go. My homie, shout out my homie G. Dedicated Saints fan. He said he been down since James been Brown. That's a long ass time. Now, quickly, going back to what I was talking about with the fathers. I happen to be a father, not biologically, stepfather, but hey, I put in my time. I put in the work. So, my son is of age now where he could take your boy out. He said, "I want to treat you to dinner." I said, "Single tear, ain't this a B?" Took your boy to a high quality restaurant. We ate steak. I had the New York strip. He thought he was balling. He had the filet mignon. I said, "Who's paying for this?" He said, "Oh, I got it." I said, "You better." Raise the kids right, man. If you raise them right, they'll actually want to do stuff for you when they get older. Want to hang out with you. Now he can see all the lessons out, all the bald-headed logic I've been giving them. But yes, y'all, we had a great weekend. Not to mention, lastly, before we get into the full realm of the show, but we had some WNBA action, because you know I'm about that dub. You know I'm about that dub. Celebrating the 30th season of the WNBA. My girl, Nneka Onwubuike, hitting that crazy buzzer beater against the Liberty. Hit that splat cow. That's what we call it. You ever playing basketball and you hitting that swish, you hitting that net, when you get ready to hit the net, I want you to go splat cow. It's gonna make your opponent super mad. Shout out to my peoples. I'm my boy Tariq. And shout out, his predecessor Josh. Rest in peace. But Splat Cat Gal, they used to just talk crazy, make crazy noises. Now, and if you haven't already watched it, I want you to Google Kelsey Mitchell breaks ankles. I hate that it had to go down like this, but she crossed over my girl Tahina Pow Pow. Tahina Pow Pow crossed both the ankles. The ankles went like this. I ain't never seen two ankles get broken at the same damn time. It was crazy. Google that if you can. Should nobody get crossed up like that? That's how you cross people. But let's go ahead. Let's move on. Let's get into the show. We had a great show last week. We was recapping. We talked about the Knicks being world champions, going to the parade, craziness. Oh, my boy in here. Yeah. My boy Q. Q said, I'm sorry I had to tap in because this was the most ridiculous title for a stream I've seen in a minute. And yes, Tahina got hit with that pew. That pow, pow, pow. She got crossed up. She had to switch sneakers. She said, I'm going back to the Kobe's. But yeah, man, I'll cut the clip up to talk about it. But as I was saying, man, the Baddies got to get back to Sundresses. It's getting out of control. They wearing jorts. We in a crazy fashion era right now. They wearing jorts. The brothers wearing bedazzled jeans. I'm telling you, man. Y'all watching too much of that Friday Night SmackDown, dressing like the wrestlers. You ain't supposed to come out here looking like that. And if you gonna dress like somebody, dress like Trick Williams. Dress like Trick. Whoop that Trick. But I digress. Let's get into tonight's bald-headed logic. Tonight's bald-headed logic is quite simple. You ain't gotta settle, but settle down. You ain't gotta settle, but settle down. Shout out to all my Gen Z. Shout out to all my millennials that are starting to find themselves, getting mature, getting a little bit up in age, if you will, in a good way. The unfortunate challenge of doing so is balancing the inner desires, your mind, your heart telling you that, hey man, I'm still young, I can still wow, and your joints telling you otherwise. Your pension saying, I think you need to contribute a little bit more. Q said the brothers going out sorry, like dressing like K-pop. But yes, I want, and I'm challenging all my peoples, and you don't even, shout out to my young, mature Gen Alpha that know at some point, hey man, we building for the future. We love to live by all these catchy phrases on social media. I'm here for a good time, not a long time, YOLO. I know that's old, but and this, that, and the third. But we got to start thinking a little bit more in depth. Because what happens when you are here for a long time and you've been broke for a long time? You've been out here chasing these scallywags. And I ain't talking about the bald-headed scallywags like me. I'm talking about the heathens. Because you ain't... What happens when you ain't been healed? What happens when you ain't been to church in a long time? This is when I bring up the point. You ain't got to settle, but you gotta settle down. All of that partying, all of that acting crazy, spending without no budget, it's like eating, man. It's like eating bad, brother. All that swine, all that red meat, it eventually does damage. You got to purify yourself. Get a juice cleanse every once and again. Take off from the sugars. And I want us to stop looking at this word settle as such a negative. To settle is to be balanced. To settle down, that is. Understand the premise. It's okay to be out here living a balanced life. You go to a couple events a month. You ain't partying every night. It's okay when you see pow, 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 pow. You go the opposite way. You don't run to the violence. It's okay to find a good job. A good one. If they tripping. And it's okay, as I speak to my players, and I speak to it's okay to find a good mate. Listen, man, you know your boy going through things, but nonetheless, understand the power of a good spouse. Hey, man, what I want to tell you is take charge of your life. And when I say take charge, that means take control. Learn how to mellow out. Learn how to be in a place of peace. It used to be a movie, Vampire in Brooklyn. Shout out my boy Eddie Murphy. And it was this weird, he was a vampire, so he would be trying to convince other people to act crazy. And so he turned himself into a pastor, and when he was preaching, he was telling them, evil is good. Now, we ain't saying all that. What I want to do is I want to flip it. And I want you to understand that sometimes boring is good. Sometimes peace is good. Sometimes one woman, and all the baddies out here that been listening to all the podcasts and all that, ladies, sometimes one good man is cool. All that running around town, all that craziness, man, all that shooting for the stars without any plan, without any vision, it gets old. So I urge you again to hear me out. You ain't got to settle. Have a great life, but settle down. All right? That's the bald-headed logic for the day. If the spirit moves you, put some, put some claps, put some prayer hands in the chat. You know what I mean? If you understand what I'm saying. And if you out here and you enjoying yourself, make sure you like the chat. Make sure you like the live. share that thing. You know what I mean? And if you on IG, make sure you subscribe because we trying to run it up. All right. Now, let's get into some further things. We're going to get into what are you talking about, what we've been seeing on the social media space all over. Talk a little bit music here. Now, I know that y'all been seeing the news. I know y'all been seeing the announcement that we're getting the new verses tomorrow. And we are getting a battle of the Titans, if you will. A battle of the groups. And we are getting B2K versus Pretty Ricky. Now, I've seen my timeline, my feed in a bit of an uproar lately. I've seen both versions. I've seen both sides. I called Quest. I said, Quest, I don't know. And the last minute, over the past few days, I have seen a surge in people saying, don't sleep on Pretty Ricky. Matter of fact, Pretty Ricky might wash him. I said, ooh. Clutch chain. Now, all I want to do is observe the strengths and the weaknesses of both teams, both groups. Now, when you look at B2K, a phenomenon of sorts, pop group stars, highly successful, on tour, great dancing, great routines, still in shape for the most part. Got a lot of things going for them that will add to the performance side, and they got nostalgia working for them. Their weaknesses is that their music, to most, is a little bit nuanced. It's very niche. It's for a very particular, you know what I mean? It was for the teeny boppers. I'll give you Girlfriend, because that was my joint. But you're now singing to an adult crowd. The people that grew up with you now adults. How does that music land? Now, on the flip side, pretty Ricky. A good pretty Ricky. Now, Pretty Ricky's music, in there to attest for them, it has aged well. Why? Because they was making the freaky songs. And we got a lot of freak joints out here. Turn your freaky down. They were singing to a demographic who was about to get their freak on or getting their freak on. Because it was 5 in the morning. And if you wasn't on the hotline, if you was actually in person, baby, grind with me. A slow body, baby. Oh. Maybe you were my body, your body. Quest, he's singing the album cuts. I'm like, Quest, that's not their biggest song. Yes, it is. You got it, Quest. So for me, I think it's going to be very interesting. Does nostalgia win, or does the quality of song or the quality of age of the records? You can still play Pretty Ricky records in kind of any forum, and it still works. I'm excited to see who y'all got winning. Do you got B2K and boom, boom, boom? Or are you rolling with the pretty Ricky? And no, I don't. I agree. Shout out to my girl Gina Views. I don't want to hear no. You can't bring in the Pleasure P versus the Omarion records. We've already had those records played in the verses. I feel like it's better served if we stick to the group. Now, it's in B2K's favor to play that Fat Man Scoop. I know it's not their record. But damn it, you got served. I think it just makes sense to do. I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna tune in for sure. Now, in other news today, the 2026 XXL freshman class was announced. 12 new rap stars. And as always, with a little bit of controversy, but I feel like overall some quality selections. We have Lareezy, shout out Louisiana, Lareezy, Slayer, So Camo, Trap Dicky, Belly Gang Cushington, Chris Patrick representing for Jersey, shout out Chris Patrick, Babyface E, YK Niece, Skrilla, Trim of Coconut Water fame, Miles Minnick, the first Christian hip-hop artist to be selected for the freshman class, and Hurricane Wisdom. Now, I've been told that the cipher that will accompany it will feature DJ Drama Records, so we will see how they perform. But like I said, when you know 3 to 4 out of the artists, I think that's a win. I think we were spoiled. We were spoiled previously, when it comes to classes like the 2016 class and several others. But I'm excited. I have moved out of that phase where you be hating. It's like, who is this? I don't know this. Nah, man. You got to tap in, discover, and figure out, who you like. It's tough, but what you really can't determine how successful the class is until later years to see how they fared. We got the 2016 class, we got the 2010 class. I think that's the one with Cole and Nipsey and Freddie Gibbs and them. 2011, 2013. We've had some great classes, but it won't be determined how successful the class is until afterwards. So we gotta stay tapped in. But again, I'm very, very happy because we got Jersey representation. I've had the chance Fortunately, I run into Chris Patrick, been to a show, and he's also been featured on one of the records from my artist Cheek the Prophet. So, I'm very familiar with his work, and he's very, very talented. So shout out to Chris Patrick, and he's been grinding. He's been working for a long time. So, me alone, I'm probably late to the game on him, and I know for it's at least been about 5-6 years since I've been tapped in. So, and then Larizzi, who was, shout out to my peoples who I'll give a nod to in Playa and the Baddie of the Week later. But Larizzi has been on his grizzly, been working. So shout out to them. If you guys had another favorite, I know Trim, got rolling with the coconut water. Social Camo's been around for a while. So it's several other artists that are successful, but yeah, it's been I don't have any qualms with the list. I'm taking bets with Renaissance to see what year we tap in. I want to go 2027 because obviously I want it to be next year, but I want to know 2028 at the latest, depending on where we be. You got to make a run. What's crazy about the freshman class is that, in my personal opinion, it's a culmination award. So majority of these people are rolling. As I said, like example, Chris Patrick. Chris Patrick's been rolling for several years. Larizzi has been probably rolling, I'm not shortchanging his journey, but in terms of visibility, almost probably the last 2 years. Trim popped up, heavy, and she had some work, but she really popped on the scene with the coconut water. So it takes a while. You gotta go crazy, or you gotta go viral. But y'all let me know what y'all think about the class. Now, I want to, because, I'm gonna save the mental health, the men's mental health, because it is Mental Health Month, for the last episode, which is next. The next episode, which is Tuesday, which will be the last day of the month. Let's roll with that on Tuesday. But I'm going to move into the question section so we can see what we got going on here. Now, it was a question based off of also some social media stuff, but I was on Twitter and I saw that they are about to drop one of my favorite all-time sneakers from the past, and that happens to be the Nike Air Zoom Flight, aka the glove, the signature Gary Payton shoe, is dropping next month. Now, if you weren't around when this sneaker came out, I was cooking in the gloves. And I was going to cook zipped or unzipped sneakers. When you got me heated, I said, hold on a second. Zoop. Now I got to cook you. The gloves was they was crazy. Shout out to my boy GP. And we ain't talking about God's property, Kirk Franklin. Gary Payton, the glove, the original. That's how he used to talk, talking all that trash. So by me seeing that, I present to y'all, what is the sneaker that y'all want to see? What's a sneaker from your past that you would bring back? We get all the Jordans, so you really can't say that unless it's one that you don't get retro too often. But what's a sneaker you like, yo, they need to bring that back for real? To me, what I would love to see them bring back, the Nike Shocks. I don't see them too often. The VCs. Who else had a fire sneaker? Jason Kidd had some fire sneakers. Had on them damn bubbles. Is the Grant Hills back? Grant Hills had damn near the only felines we was rocking. Don't let them tell you otherwise, y'all. When Grant Hill had that little scoot, when we thought he was gonna be the next Jordan, cats was rocking them. Now me personally, we done already got the retros. We got the Iversons back. That was just my sneakers. The answer for show, the questions for show, but then the answers to, the answers, the fours. That's when we went to the chip, when we went to the finals. Now a lot of people kind of remember the commercial, but the commercial sneaker, they was I like the A5s. The A5s was crazy because of the commercial with Jadakiss. Oh, my boy in here. Yamani, what's good? I just felt like them early Iversons I would always rock. But to me, seeing the gloves, the gloves come back, single tier. Slow single tier. What's good? We've been having a good show, man. Cats been in here popping in. Make sure y'all like the live. Make sure y'all like and share. But Diamante, since you here, we'll ask the other question for the night. So the other question of the night, shout out the lovely. I don't know why I just enjoy acting like that when I'm talking about one of our baddies. Oh, what's good? My boy Low End Mike TV. Welcome. If you joining on the Instagram side, we are dual streaming on YouTube and IG. I gotta stay hydrated. Yeah, Mike, I gotta tap in with you, man. I know you've been making moves, but we was just finishing up the question: what retro sneakers or classic sneakers would you bring back? I just found out they bringing back the gloves, the Gary Paytons. I'm on that. We on that. Now, my second question that I was getting ready to go into. Recently, my girl, Regina Hall, damn you fine. Regina Hall was on the late night show or the Tonight Show, and she prompted Jimmy Fallon, who seems to be kind of in a little bit of hot water. I gotta do the research though. But she asked if you could get. Oh, appreciate it. Hey man, tap in with me, bro. I'm a message you. I want to definitely link share the latest with you. But She asked Jimmy Fallon, if you had these three things, which would you keep? So you get three, you got to pick two. And the three elements were sex, love, and money. You got to give up one. So let's phrase it like that. You got to give up one out of those three. Sex, love, and money. What would you give up? I think it's such an interesting. Oh, we got R&B. We got the R&B baddies in here. Dallas, what's good? Dallas Aaliyah. Dallas, I've been seeing you working too. You think you're slick? So, the question again. Let me repeat: if you had to give up one, which would you give up? Sex, love, or money? Now, in the comments, immediately we see people posting sex. Now, the interesting thing, I'll give you what the answer was from Jimmy Fallon, as well as Regina Hall. But Jimmy Fallon said he would give up money, and Regina Hall said she would give up sex, which she would then go on to say that that's what the answer for most women would be, is to give up sex, because they want love and they want money. They said she said, we like sex, but it's a lot of maintenance, so you need money. And then she said, how much sex are you getting if you ain't got no money? My thing is interesting. I would probably say, this is a tough one. I think you gotta have. I think it's what are the parameters around it. It's like okay, if I get rid of this, I'm gonna be cool. It's still innate for me as a man. It's like I'm not getting rid of sex. That's wilding. And I ain't even on the heathen tip. You know, I'm on my good black man tip. But damn, none. But you know your boy need love. You know I grew up on that LL. When I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare. I don't know why I always go to that, because like I don't even know if I was I born when that record came out? It don't matter. It still was a bop. When I'm alone in my room, sometimes Dallas said, I just want love and money. And I can respect that. And I can appreciate that. I ain't even mad at that. Because sometimes it ain't often, but sometimes you don't even be in the mood. You be like, yo, I'm capping. Or maybe Dallas said, or maybe I just want love and sex and not money. I don't know. You got me thinking about shit I don't even sign up to be thinking about. See, that's what we here for. Let the bald-headed logic prompt you into a higher level of thinking. Now, I can't be as foolish to get rid of the money, because I was just on here last episode telling y'all that the loot shall set you free. But that being said, man, because the sex is a component of the love. At least it's supposed to be. If it's not, turn your freaky down. You out here all freak. Ain't got no love in it. That's like Kool-Aid, no sugar. You need the sex gotta have the love. That's like my boy Pops. We always got one. You always got two things don't match. Peanut butter, no jelly. Ham, no burger. He said, y'all ain't never got two things that match. Cereal, no milk. Peanut butter, no jelly. Ham, no burger. Ham, no burger is crazy. What was Chris Tucker on? Yo, Chris Tucker is a legend, man. Don't get me started. But all right, y'all. I think that's an interesting thing. Y'all let me know. Y'all drop it in the comments what you think is a necessity. Which of the three you would give up. All right? Now, we're going to wrap up. We're going to hit the player and the baddie of the week. We're going to finish with Ceddy's recipes. You know what I mean? I don't know if we should do beans better tonight. Let me just quickly go to my fan dude, see what's going on. I might give y'all one for tomorrow. Oh, we got a game coming up. It's a 10 o'clock game. I can give y'all one. Beans better tonight. All right. Player of the week. Player of the week. We celebrate my boy, manager, Eric Vander. Shout out my boy. Now, Eric, for those unfamiliar, Eric Vander is a talent manager. He happens to manage the previously mentioned Larizzi. He also works with Maya the Don. Shout out Maya the Don. Let's be clear. Not to mention working with R&B impresario. I just like to use that word. Tone Stiff. Shout out Jersey. And working with Ruben Vincent. Another really, really dope hip hop artist out of North Carolina. So Eric Vander had another artist because Maya the Don was previously recognized by the Double XL, but again his artist Larizzi being selected as one of the Double XL freshman class is a great honor. Love to see people winning. Love to see people that I have connect to making moves. It is inspiring. It is motivating. And it is proof that if you put the work in, anything is possible. So, but you just gotta have a vision, and you gotta put the work in. But really, really happy to see there's continued success for Eric. So from one player to another, we celebrate you. Now, the baddie of the week, another person I had a chance to work with this week, but we celebrate the founder of Geneus. And for those, Geneus is spelled Geneus. Geneus, an incredible company, a platform that just basically highlights and celebrates independent artists, and the head and founder is none other than my homie, my friend, Aisha. And we got to celebrate Aisha Lewis Redway, say the full name, for her incredible virtual conference and platform that she did these past 2 weeks. Very, very successful, and it was great to see her grab some great names. It was some really, really, really dope names that took part in this in the series. You know what I mean? She had Jazz Jackson. She had I said Tanya, as I told you before, Tanya Nelson Fisher. She had Misha Rice. Who else? You know my baddie was on there. You know Jan was there. Jan Sneed. It was a really, really dope. It was a really, really dope series and platform. Barry was there. Damn, what's Barry's last name? Barry Rosenblum from Green Tea Studios. But yeah. Oh, my girl Tavia. Oh, she'll kill me if I forget her. Shout out Tavia, Map Dieterville, PR Supreme. So it was some really, 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 really heavy hitters there that was connected together to provide some great information to the independent artists, and they also offered some studio time with in connection with Chelsea Studios, some discounted services to the different artists. She's been on a roll doing several indie talks. I know that she had my fave. She interviewed my fave, Alex Isley. So really, really been on a roll. Very, very proud. I told her the other day, I'm really proud of the work that you're doing. And I just love to see my people's working. So keep it going, keep it moving. And those, my friends, are the player and baddie of the week. All right. Now let's quickly get on let's hit y'all with a bet. Beans better than night, and let's go and get up out of here. All right. Now, you know where I'm taking it. I'm taking it to the WNBA. All right. We got to get rocking. We got a nice game tonight. I think I'm going to roll with that as opposed to, ooh. Damn. All right. I'm going to give y'all because y'all ain't even, I'm going to give y'all tomorrow's bet. We going to play the Dallas Wings versus the Las Vegas Aces. The Aces should be looking to get payback because the Wings waxed that ass earlier this year. Now, I am going to go with, as far as a straight play, I'm taking A'ja Wilson. Actually, I'm taking Chelsea Gray. I'm taking Chelsea Gray for 8 assists. That's plus 134. That's good odds. Chelsea Gray, the point guard. And all over the place. So, she been doing her signature no look behind the back pass. So we going with that. Now, for the parlay, if you will, we going to the points. We got to go to Paige. Paige was cooking the other night. Paige, don't let me down. We taking Paige for 20. Taking Paige for 20. We are taking Jessica Shepard for the double-double. Take her for a double-double. All right. Now, from the Aces side, we are taking Jackie Young. Two threes. We taking AZ Fudd. AZ, don't play. Give me them 2 threes. And then lastly, on the assists, I guess we gotta play A'ja. So all right, we're gonna mix this up. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna play A'ja. They gotta feed A'ja the rock. All right. Gotta feed A'ja the rock. Damn. This is on FanDuel, so I'm taking her for 25. A'ja, stop playing. All right. Now, this play, 5-legger plus $13.89. If you bet $10, you win $138. You bet 100, you win 1,300 of them things. All right. So let's see what we rocking with. Only person I'm really concerned about, ironically or coincidentally, is A'ja Wilson, because Age will always be right around 24. I need that 25, boo. I need that. All right. Now, let's finish out tonight's episode with one of my favorite segments and one of yours too, and that is Ceddy's Recipe. Ceddy's Recipe, our segment where we highlight a norm or a custom of yesteryear from the black community and share with our young audience in hopes that they continue the tradition on. In the past, we have used such things as spades, not splitting the pole, late night drives, the movie Meteor Man, and as recently as last week, Jet Beauty of the Week. But this week, we bring back one that I can't say is a favorite when it was happening to me, but it's a necessity, and that is your parents snitching. Your parents snitching. Now, I know you like, hey man, snitches get stitches, but this is a different type of snitching. Now, what this was, and how this used to go down, was quite simple. Your black ass would be acting up, usually in school, or if you was getting crazy, you was acting up at home. And what would happen is, first of all, if you had parents like mine, you had to get your butt whooped. You had to take that L, right? But not only was you taking that L, you had to go on tour when your mama will be telling all your business to your whole family. Every place you pulled up, you run into your auntie. Oh, how you doing? How's school going? You go, good. Oh, no, don't tell her good. Tell her how you was talking back to your teacher. Damn. Why you putting my business out there? Man, listen. I wasn't even that crazy in school, with the exception of me singing nice and slow in the 6th grade. Playas mess up. With the exception of that, I ain't get too crazy. But when I did, guaranteed, Grandma was going to know. Aunt Peggy was going to know. My mom would get cruel. She would tell my godmother, Aunt Laverne, and you know that was the bloodline. Don't tell Aunt Laverne that, because then I can't go over her house and I can't have crab legs. Then, if mom wanted to get real spicy, she was going to tell my cousins, which means we couldn't go for a sleepover at Aunt Geneva's house. And Aunt Geneva had the big house. Why do you got to do all of this? But we needed that. We needed that level of accountability. If you don't want nobody telling on you, you need to act right in school. But sometimes it wouldn't even make it that far down the eastern Atlantic coast down in DC. If she told my dad I was getting my ass whooped. I ain't need that. You already Daddy already acting like Denzel and He Got Game, making me run drills. I'm already upset. Then you get me in trouble. Now I gotta get an ass whooping. But I learned quick. Cause you ain't gonna be embarrassing me. No. That ain't how I get down. But yeah, man, your parents used to snitch crazy. If you did something in front of one parent, they was gonna tell the other parent. If your other parent wasn't around, or even if they did tell the other parent, they was gonna tell your entire extended family. It was so excessive. But now, as an older person, you need that. I used to threaten. Oh, you want me to tell your nana? Because you know everybody got nanas now. Don't let me tell your nana you acting crazy. You want me to tell Pop Charles? Because don't nobody want Pop Charles to know you're acting crazy. Because he's going to give you a lesson, and then he's going to take his belt off and give you a blessing. Craziness. Wild times, man. Bring back the good old days, y'all, for real. Now, I want y'all to do well. I want y'all to enjoy yourselves. If you play the parlay, let me know. First of all, make sure you say your parlay prayer. Say your parlay prayers. That's the problem. Y'all got to remember to pray. You pray over everything you do, even the parlays. You want them to win, don't you? I take my time. Here, I'm going to teach y'all how to pray real quick, then we're going to get up out of here. When you say your prayers, you got to take your time. You gotta acknowledge the Lord. So bow your heads. All right? Now, first thing, you got to acknowledge God. So, Father God, that's why my personal, Father God or Heavenly Father. All right? Those are my personal preferences. But, Father God, we come to you today thanking you. You start with thanks. Okay? Father God, we come to you with thanks. Thanking you for your blessings and infinite mercy. Emphasis on blessings. Father God, steer us with your hand of prosperity. So ask him for what you want. All right? Steer us with your hand of prosperity. Lead us to the promised land with some dollars in hand. Finance the travel and fun with parlay funds. Cover us, God, and cover all the spreads. Help us to reach green by taking Angel Reese for 16. We ask this and more. In your name we pray. Amen. That's my parlay prayer. That's how you know I'm well versed in praying, because I can pray about anything. All them years, baby. I've been praying since I was about 3 years old. My aunt said, "You gonna be a pastor?" I said, "Thou doesn't know this, but I will stand close to the Lord." Wildin'. Queen Mobetta was good. We wrapping up. We finishing, man. Girl, you got to pull up on time. But we happy that you're here. We celebrate you anyway. Always wave to your baddies. All right, always wave to your baddies. Make sure you like the live. Make sure you follow so you can tap in. And enjoy, you can catch the show. It's gonna be on YouTube because you know we do streaming. But let us finish the show, y'all. Let's wrap it up. And I want to send y'all on your way and have a great time. So you know what you got to do. I want y'all to be blessed, stay good in spirit, stay calm, stay positive. But what we always come to do, keep it blessed, keep it real, but always keep it playing.